We should be here. Vienas. Kažkoks iš šiandien
Labai gerai. Sveikiname susirinkusius visus Raudonųjų kultūrinėje menėje. Šiandien tokia nuostabiai ypatinga diena, vasario 6 ir skamba balsas, kaip turėtų skambėti. Ir ką reikėtų man pasakyti, bičiuliai, kad šiandien mes turime svečius prie Raudonybę, organizacijos, Gartus gyvenės pareigūnus iš Jungtinės karalystės, Seimo narius, bei svečius iš įvairių ambasadų bei žydų bendruomenė.
Now I'm going to the stations. We are going to do Ką padaryti? Tai aš taip ir tai manęs nereikia. Aš labai nepatogišką gadinu visą. Jeigu fotošopą padarysit.
Taip, kad jūs turėkite taip mikrofoną.
Šitaip geriau?
Ir tada už jūsų bus erdvė graži.
Ar gerai?
Kamera yra, noras labai, kad jūs važiavote, sakiau, kamera yra šitas. Taip, mes sakome.
Bet aš tada visai bus nenugarantuoju žiūros.
Žiūrovus vėlgi dar čia darom ir tai nereikia. Žiūrėkite, ateikite, susidedam skirtinės.
O jisai išvis kalba iš ten ar ne?
Yes. Morning. Good morning. How are you?
Oh, in America this morning.
You have one here to talk. You don't have to get from here or over there. I might do this. Yeah, this
Žiūrėk, bičiuliai, jis tik klauso, jis nekalbės.
The push to 10 minutes off, they changed from another type to Zoom. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes. You don't see my face on the screen, you're not watching it? Hi Jack, good morning. Yeah, I'm not here. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Voice for a second, this guy, so you got that. Like a little kid check, I think you gotta do.
You're listening. Morning, Luke.
Good morning, how are you?
Good. Good afternoon for some people.
That's true.
Where's over there?
You should have listened, yeah. Yeah, Eastern European, say Eastern European, listen all the time. And it's not just, yeah, it's Russian, you know.
One person there, yeah. You know, one person. Yes, one from here, one German. United States is two, yeah. Canada one, Germany one, and Israel one.
Kanados.
So who,
That's good.
Kanados will get presentation.
that's great. Yeah, you know, but who's going to change for the pages? I can do it myself. I would want to be a remote. That's all, that's all. Can we do a 1 minute check? Yeah. The main word about that is always false presentations. Was that false? Right? It's amazing. It's amazing stuff. She sent me family found something.
למה בזכוכית ולא רצית, לא? בגלל שאמרתי כוסות? כושר, לא, יש כוסיות זה. איפה תשים את זה? איפה אתה עומד?
From the free wars. So actually you can come closer.
Thank you for sitting there, because then you're blocking anybody who would mess with my camera. Okay. I'll move it as things happen. Hi, good to see you. Yes. Fine, I'm fine. Yeah, I'll put it here. I'm put it here. I just put it there in case. It's just over here. And the heat.
Sorry? No, it's partly used for representative events, weddings, Kaunas district, Kaunas district. So it's not the city municipality, it's Kaunas district, regional, but it's outside of. Yes,
But it's artificial.
You know, formal.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Laba diena. Shalom aleikum. Sveikiname visus šiandien susirinkusius pačioje iškiliausioje Kauno rajono vietoje, Raudonkojo dvaro baltojoje menėje, kur Kauno rajono savivaldybė ir organizacija Žydų paveldas Vilkoje pasirašys bendradarbiavimo sutartį.
Welcome everybody in one of the most beautiful places in Kaunas district, in the White Room of Raudonveris Mansion, where the municipality of Kaunas district and Jewish Heritage in Vilkija are going to sign a cooperation agreement.
Šis susitarimas įprasmins metus trukusį bendradarbiavimą skirtą Vilkijos žydų bendruomenės istorijos išsaugojimui, įamžinimui ir senųjų žydų kapinių sutvarkymui.
This agreement will culminate a year-long cooperation aimed at preserving and commemorating the history of the Jewish community in Vilkija and restoring the old Jewish cemetery.
Sveikiname renginyje dalyvaujančius Kauno rajono merą ir jo vadovybę, organizacijos Žydų paveldas Lietuvoje vadovus, garbius Karnauskų giminės palikuonis iš Jungtinės karalystės, bei garbius svečius iš įvairių ambasadų ir žydų bendruomenių.
We welcome all the participants of this special event, the mayor of Kaunas district and his team, the members of Jewish Heritage in Vilkija, honorable descendants of Karnowski family from the UK, and all other honorable guests from different embassies and Jewish communities.
Šiandien susirinkome ne tik pasirašyti dokumento, bet ir įprasminti gilesnę žmogaus atminties ir vertybių pjūtį. Tai akimirka, kai laikas tampa ne tik mūsų istorijos veidrodžiu, bet ir tiltai sąmoningesnį, teisingesnį pasaulį.
We are here today not only to sign the document, but also to celebrate a deeper link between the memories of humanity and the values. It is a moment when time becomes a bridge to a more conscious and fairer world, rather than only a mirror of history.
Atmintis nėra tik įrašai knygose, ar iškalti vardai atminyje. Tai gyvas tiltas tarp kartų, kuris liudija ne tik tai, kas buvo, bet ir tai, kokie privalome būti.
Memories are much more than entries in different books or words and names carved on the stones. It's a live bridge which speaks about things that happened, but moreover about the way we should be.
Šiandien mes ne tik prisimename, bet ir pasiryžtame daryti suvokdami, kad kiekvienos valdos, kiekvienos bendruomenės skausmas yra bendras visų mūsų skausmas ir mūsų visų bendros atminties atsakomybė.
Today, we don't only remember things, but we also commit ourselves to action with a deep understanding that the pain of each nation, of each community, is the pain of all of us. And it is a responsibility of our common memories.
Kalbės Kauno rajono savivaldybės meras gerbiamas Valerijus Makūnas.
The floor goes to the mayor of Kaunas district, Vilkija.
Gerbiamas organizacijos Žydų paveldas Lietuvoje prezidentė, Ekonom Baron, Kauno Žydų religinės bendruomenės pirmininkė Aušra Bairokai, Izraelio, Jungtinių Amerikos valstijų, Kanados, Vokietijos, užsienio šalių diplomatai, garbūs rabinai, Žydų bendruomenės nariai.
Dear President of the Jewish Heritage in Linda, Elhanan Barak, Chairperson of the Jewish Religious Community of Kaunas, Mausha Barak. Dear distinguished diplomats of foreign countries from Israel, USA, Canada, Germany, dear brothers.
Kauno rajonas pasižymė vaizdingomis upėmis, slėniais, jaukiais miesteliais, kurių gyventojų daugumą iki Antrojo pasaulinio karo sudarė žydų tautybės žmonės.
Kaunas district is characterized by its picturesque river valleys and cozy towns, most of which were inhabited by Jews before the Second World War.
Viename tokiame miestelyje Zapyškyje gimiau ir aš. Iš savo senelio žvejo. Pasakojimų žinau, kad žydai buvo puikūs kaimynai, išsilavinę žmonės, nagingi amatininkai, prekybininkai, finansininkai.
I was born in one of those small towns called Zapyškis. I know from the stories told by my grandfather, who was a fisherman, that Jews were excellent neighbors, educated people, skilled craftsmen, traders, and financiers.
Ne tik Zapyškis, bet ir kiti Kauno rajono miesteliai, ypač Vilkija, Garliava, Čekiškė, Kulautuva, Kačerginė, Vandžiogala, Faktai yra neatsiejami nuo čia gyvenusių žydų kultūros ir istorijos.
Not only Zapyškis, but also other towns of Kaunas district, in particular Vilkija, Garliava, Čekiškė, Kulautuva, Kačerginė, Vandžiogala, Faktai, are closely linked to the culture and history of the Jews who lived there.
Šimtai litvakų kovėsi Lietuvos savanorių gretose. Tarpukariu lietuvių ir žydų politikai, mokslininkai ir literatai kūrė bendrą naujos Lietuvos viziją. Deja, skaudūs įvykiai šią viziją nukėlė keliems dešimtmečiams į ateitį, nes Antrojo pasaulinio karo metais Lietuvos žydų bendruomenė buvo beveik sunaikinta, o Lietuva okupuota.
Hundreds of Litvaks fought in the ranks of Lithuanian volunteers, Lithuanian and Jewish politicians, scientists, and writers of the interwar period created a common vision of the new Lithuania. Unfortunately, the vision was postponed for several decades due to the devastating events of the Second World War, when the Lithuanian Jewish community was almost wiped off the map and Lithuania was occupied.
Šiandien mums tenka tiesti tiltą virš siaubingos Holokausto prarajos. Esu įsitikinęs, kad šis tiltas bus tvarus, jei būsime vieni kitiems atviri, jei nepamiršime istorijos.
Today we are building a bridge over the terrible abyss of the Holocaust. I'm convinced that it will be a long-lasting and sustainable bridge, as long as we are open to each other, as long as we do not forget the history.
Bendradarbiaujant su Jungtinėse Amerikos valstijose gyvenančių verslininkų Džeku Lainu bei kultūros paveldo departamentu mums pavyko sutvarkyti senąsias pas Žiogalos žydų kapines pastatyti memorialą.
In cooperation with Jack Lyon, a businessman residing in the United States, and the Department of Cultural Heritage, we have managed to rehabilitate the old Jewish cemetery in Vilkija and to build a memorial.
Yeah, this is John. Yes.
Išskirtinę vietą mūsų krašto istorijoje užima Vilkijos litvakai. Iš čia kilo daug kūrybingų ir talentingų
Recording
žmonių.
in progress.
Didelė garbė matyti šioje salėje raganą Mordechajų Josifą Karnovskį. Vilkijoje gyvenusių Karnovskių palikuonį, nes tai garbinga pasaulyje žinoma giminė. Žinau, kad joje yra puikių teisininkų, medikų, dvasiškių.
The Litvaks of Vilkija occupy a special place in the history of our region. Many creative and talented people come from this area. It is a great honor to see here Rabbi Mordechai Joseph Karnovsky, one of the descendants of the Karnovsky family from Vilkija. And this is a distinguished and world-renowned family. I know that in this family there are great lawyers, doctors, and clergymen.
Didžiuojamės, kad šios giminės šaknys yra mūsų krašte. Savivaldybė įamžino Leibos ir Esteros Pilės Karnovskių atminimą. Ši pora Vilkijos krašte gyveno XIX amžiaus pabaigoje. Vėliau sutuoktinius likimas nubloškė į Ameriką. Į istoriją Leiba ir Tilė pateko todėl, kad įvaikino ir užaugino pasaulinę džiazo legendą Borisą Armstrongą. Jie nebuvo turtingi ir augino būrį savo vaikų, bet turėjo atviras širdis ir parodė žmogiškumą. Tokios istorijos negali nejaudinti, juo labiau, kad tai mūsų kraštiečiai.
We are proud that the roots of the family are in our region. The municipality has commemorated the memory of Leiba and Esther Tiller Karnovskis. The couple lived in Vilkija at the end of the 19th century, but later the fate sent them to the States. Leiba and Tiller made history by adopting and raising the world jazz legend Louis Armstrong. The family was not rich and raised a bunch of their own children, but they had open hearts and demonstrated human love. Such stories cannot but touch our hearts, the more so because they are our own countrymen.
Šiandien pasirašysime sutartį, kuri įgalins sutvarkyti senąsias Vilkijos žydų kapines ir dar labiau atsigręžti į litvakų kultūros paveldą. Kiekvienas senųjų Vilkijos kapinių paminklas tai įspūdinga istorija, kurią verta papasakoti ateities kartoms.
Today we are going to sign an agreement that will enable us to rehabilitate the old Jewish cemetery in Vilkija and to further promote the heritage of the Litva culture. Every monument in the old Vilkija cemetery is a fascinating story worth telling to future generations.
Tikiu, kad pasirašydami šią sutartį ir kartu atlikdami darbus, mes įgausime daugiau supratimo apie tai, kas esame. Šios darbus stenkimės atlikti su didžiausia pagarba praeičiai ir viltimi ateičiai, melsdami, kad pasaulyje lydėtų taika, kurios mums visiems labai reikia.
I believe that by signing this agreement and working together, we will gain a better understanding of who we are. Let's do this work with the utmost respect for the past and hope for the future, praying for peace in the world, which we need so much.
Nuoširdžiai dėkoju ponui Altamon Baron už iniciatyvą ir visiems, kurie ją įvairiais būdais palaikote.
I would like to give my sincere thanks to Mr. Baron for his initiative and to all of you who support this initiative in your own ways.
Thank you.
Dėkojame gerbiamam merui. Dabar kalbės didžiausios Europoje lietuvių ješivos Jungtinėje karalystėje dekanas, Vilkijos Karnauskų giminės palikuonis rabinas Mordekajus Josifas Karnauskis.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And now the floor goes to the dean of the largest Lithuanian yeshiva in Europe, the descendant of the Karnauski family of Vilkija, Rabbi Mordechai Karnauski.
Sorry to have to speak in English. I get picked up, even though my roots from here. I get picked up in Lithuanian. The truth is, it's the first time I've been in the country. I'm very impressed with the work that's going on here. And see this terrible destruction that's happened. Through the Second World War II, and it's hope for the future. All that we see that's been built up, and the fact that we're here to commemorate a new agreement of working together to be able to preserve our heritage, gives us a lot of hope for the future.
Tai aš labai atsiprašau, kad nekalbu lietuviškai, nors mano šaknis yra Lietuvoje. Tiesą sakant, aš esu pirmą kartą Lietuvoje, bet aš tikrai esu nustebintas, man padarė didžiulį įspūdį, tai kaip viskas buvo statyta po atgal, kai daugelis dalykų buvo sugriauti Antrojo pasaulinio karo metais. Taigi šiandien mes pasirašysime naują sutartį, kuri leis mums pagerbti savo atminimą, savo paveldą ir dirbti kartu.
I'd like to share with you a small idea.
Norėčiau su jumis pasidalinti vieną tokią mažą mintį.
Our heritage goes back to the beginning of creation when we lived with the Bible. That is our guide in life, past, present, and future.
Taigi mūsų paveldas yra labai senas. Mes jį skaičiuojame nuo pačios pradžios, kuri buvo paminėta Biblijoje.
We find something interesting. When our forefather Jacob passed away, he was at the time living in Egypt, but he left a message, more than a message, a commandment to his children. I want to be taken up to Israel, to be buried there with his father and the previous generations.
Jakobas keliavo per pasaulį ir paliko vieną žinią, kad jis nori būti po mirties nugabentas Izraeliui ir būti palaidotas tam, kad galėtų priminti apie istoriją ateities kartoms.
When they took him out from Egypt, there was a whole retinue that went with him, his children, and all the senior ministers that were there in Egypt at the time. Similar to what we're seeing here, that people from all different representatives, all different nations came up to give respect to our forefather Jacob.
Ir jis buvo nugabentas iš Egipto, kartu keliavo daugybė įvairių žmonių, įvairių tautų atstovų, kurie pagerbė šią kelionę.
One of the observers at the time, according to the Bible, said a comment. I'll say it, I'll read it out in Hebrew, and I'll explain. Evel Koved Zel Mitzrayim, which means it's a very, very sad day in Egypt that they're taking the body, the bones, the body of our forefather Jacob up to Israel. Why?
Taigi vienas iš stebėtojų padarė tokį komentarą, kurį pradžioje pasakė hebrajų kalbą, o lietuvių kalba reiškia, kad tai yra labai labai liūdna diena, kad tėvo Jakobo kūnas buvo išgabenamas iš Egipto ir gabenamas į Izraelį. Kodėlgi? Kodėl tai yra liūdna diena?
The commentators explain when there's a great man that's buried in the country, it brings blessings to the country.
Ir jis aiškino, kad jeigu didis žmogus būna palaidotas kažkokioje šalyje, tą šalį aplanko palaima.
It's not just because tourism, pilgrimage, people come up. It's much deeper than that.
Tai yra daug giliau, daug daugiau negu tiesiog turizmas, piligrimų kelionės.
We believe that the person, even once he's passed away from this world, will not just dealing with bones. We believe in the resurrection of dead. We believe that the person, especially our great forefathers, had a soul, and it's not just bones.
Mes tikime, kad žmogui mirus lieka ne vien tik tai kaulai. Mes tikime prisikėlimu. Mes tikime žmogaus dvasia, kuri yra gyva.
Therefore, when someone as great as Jacob was, if he's in the country, we know that during the time there was a big famine in the world, a special famine in Egypt. But as long as our forefather Jacob was there, the famine stopped.
Taigi, mirus tėvui Jakobui, pasaulyje buvo didelė šeima, bet ta šeima tarsi sustojo, suiro po jo mirties.
As long as Jacob would be there in Egypt, the famine would have stopped.
Jeigu Jakobas būtų likęs Egipte, tai to nebūtų atsitikę.
So they understood the benefit that there is of having such a holy person as Jacob being buried in the country. So when they took Jacob up from Egypt, the general comment was, it's a sad day, we're losing out.
Taigi, tą dieną, kada toks šventas žmogus buvo, jo palaikai buvo išgabenti iš Egipto, šalis suprato, kad jie prarado labai daug.
Lithuania has been blessed with hundreds and hundreds of good people.
Lietuva yra palaiminta, nes joje yra šimtai didžių žmonių.
And even not just rabbis, the general population, when it goes to Vilna, I was astounded what I saw yesterday, or perhaps 5 weeks.
Ir tai yra ne tik rabinai, tai yra tiesiog žmonės, tiesiog gyventojai. Ir vakar aš buvau Vilniuje ir aš buvau pritrenktas to, ką aš pamačiau.
They were so intent on destroying Judaism that they didn't even want us to know that there was such a thing as Judaism of the past. You take a big field, make a sports field out of it. No memory at all.
Nėra jokių prisiminimų, nėra noro žinoti apie tai, kas buvo praeityje, kas buvo susijęs su žydų kultūra, žydų religija.
How grateful we have to be that there's people that understand where it's the main Vilkija. And the general population, the general committee that's come here today, understand what it means to us, not just to us. It means to the world at large that we acknowledge what it means to Jewish presence and how blessing will be to the country if they look at our old cemeteries.
Taigi iš tiesų yra nuostabu, kad Vilkijos žmonės, viskas rajono meras, supranta, ką kultūra, ką paveldas reiškia mums, ką tai reiškia visam pasauliui. Ir jie bus tikrai palaiminti, pasirūpindami mūsų palikimu ir mūsų kapais.
Finish off with a few words I want to say. Thanks to my special friend, Brother Baron, and perhaps more so to all the members of the committee, secular and others from all different countries. We've come together for this historic occasion to prepare a path for the future. And that should be a blessing for us, a blessing for mankind, to realize that we respect what we had and we're trying to build for the future a blessing there.
Taigi, kartu su mano draugais, su kitais gerbiamais rabinais, mes pasiekėme šitą istorinį momentą, kada mes parodome praeitį ateities kartoms. Ir tai atneš mums visiems Dievo palaimą.
Thank you everyone for listening to me. And I hope this, when I come back next time, we should see progress in all different areas of cooperation together.
Taigi, ačiū, kad išklausėte mane. kad išklausėte manęs ir aš tikiuosi, kad kitą kartą, kai aš atvyksiu į Lietuvą, mes padarysime didžiulį progresą įvairiuose bendradarbiavimo srityse.
Nuoširdžiai dėkojame gerbiamam Radovai, Mordechajui Josifui Karlovskijui. O dabar kalbės organizacijos Žydų paveldas Lietuvoje prezidentas Rabinas Alkanon Baron.
Thank you, Rabbi Mordechai Karnovsky, and now the floor goes to the President of Jewish Heritage in Lithuania, Rabbi Alkanon Baron.
Thank you everyone for coming. My first thanks goes to my colleagues on the Zoom, Jack Yanko Lyon, by now close friend of Mayor Kaunas, and Rabbi Mayor Cohn, who got up very early this morning to join us in Zoom.
Taigi labai dėkoju visiems čia susirinkusiems ir mano pirmoji kolega keliauja žmonėms, kurie yra su mumis per nuotolį. Aš labai atsiprašau, kad pavardžių nepakartosiu, nes nežinau.
I'm not going to speak today. Today I'm going to take off my rabbi hat and put on my teacher hat and show you a presentation how the Jewish history and the Jewish community of Vilkija comes alive, and not something that I brought, all from the local holdings of the National Library of Lithuania in Vilnius.
Taigi aš jums noriu parodyti pranešimą, kuriame mes matome, kaip atgyja ryšiai tarp lietuvių ir žydų bendruomenių. Ir noriu parodyti jums pavyzdžius iš Lietuvos nacionalinės bibliotekos.
The only thing I want to, obviously I want to thank, first of all, Mayor Kaunas, Rabbi Karnovsky, for coming from England especially, to be here with us today. Emmanuel Zinger, a good friend, representative of the Seimas, all the members of the diplomatic corps from the United States too, from Canada and US and Canadian dual citizens, so that's first. Germany, Israel, we were hoping from others as well. Everybody seems to be very busy with NATO, and obviously NATO comes first.
Taigi norėčiau labai padėkoti Makūnui, Radinui Karnovskijui, Emanueliui Zingeriui, diplomatams iš Jungtinių valstijų, Kanados, Vokietijos, Izraelio ir taip pat žmonėms, kurie yra užsiėmę NATO reikalais, nes NATO yra viskas svarbiausia.
All of my friends and colleagues, both outside the country and inside the country. This is a really teamwork. Every single one of you who's here, who's not here, the many people that are on live stream, etc., for your participation in our holy work.
Taigi aš noriu padėkoti visiems už dalyvavimą, už šventą darbą, visiems, kurie yra čia, kurie yra su mumis, taip pat tiems, kurie yra prisijungę nuo.
Most of all, I must say that the biggest thanks goes to my wife, Ruthie, who backs me in this strange part of my life. How I became basically a Lithuanian over the last few years, and she puts up with me and even often comes with me. And I'm so happy that she was able to be here, and she put off returning to her life in order to stay with us and be here today. Thank you, Ruthie.
Ir labai noriu padėkoti savo žmonai Rūtai, kuri palaiko mane šitam keistom tokiam gyvenimo etape. Aš praktiškai tapau jų lietuvių ir ji tai su tuo susitaiko ir keliauja kartu su manim į mane kalbą.
Now, we begin the presentation. This is just items that were found in a short search in the holdings of the library, the National Library in Lithuania and Vilna.
Taigi dabar mes pamatysime, ką mes neilgai ieškoję suradome Vilniaus nacionalinėje bibliotekoje.
So here's a set of Talmud. This is item 2. It's a set of Talmud printed in Vilna. This is the famous Talmud printed by Rome. It's not the final version, but it's an important version. It was printed in 1859 to around 1870. It took about 10 years to print this set of the Talmud.
Taigi čia yra negaltinė versija spausdinimo, kuris buvo spausdintas tarp 1950
It is worthy to note that at that time, the Rome printing press was the only printing press in the Russian Empire that had permission to print Hebrew books from the censor.
Reikia paminėti, kad tai ši leidykla, kuri spausdino, buvo vienintelė leidykla Rusijos imperijoje, kuri turėjo galimybę spausdinti be cenzūros.
This particular copy belonged to the rabbi of Vilkija, who's the Rabbi Walpert. He seems to have been the rabbi from 1873 to 1876. It has his stamp, the Rabbi Walpert of Vilkija.
Ir šis spaudinys priklauso Vilkijos rabinui, kuris buvo rabina nuo 76 iki jau nusisuko data ir neprisimenu.
Number 3, here Rabbi Walpert had an interesting habit that every single volume, the Talmud is 20 thick volumes, and every volume he wrote every time that he studied that tractate. And here he has a list of 6 times that he studied the tractate from 1865 to 1903, all dated.
Čia yra 28 tomai ir jisai turi sąrašą 6 laivų, kuriuos studijavo 1945.
Here, number 4, this is one of the most amazing items found in the library. This is called a Pinkas, which is a ledger of Chevra Tehillim of Vilkija, which was founded in 1813 and re-established in 1889. Chevra Tehillim means a song, a group of songs. What it means is a group of people who come together to recite the songs.
Čia yra vienas nuo svarbiausių leidinių nacionalinėje bibliotekoje, kuris vadinasi dainų grupė. Tai reiškia, kad buvo grupė žmonių, kurie sakė, dainavo dainą.
Here you have the title page. It has the original date in Hebrew 1813, and then re-established 1887 with the Vilkija, and it's illustrated and the decorated title page. It's all manuscript, of course.
Tai yra rankraštis ir tai yra vidudinis puslapis ir šalis, kurio data yra 1813 metai ir tai buvo atkurtas 1888.
Slides 6 and 7 are the rules and regulations. It's in Yiddish. There are all kinds of rules, like when they say the songs and who has to say and how many songs they say, and if they don't keep the rules, can they stay in the society? There's 2 pages with 18 rules.
Toliau kitas 67 skaidrė iliustruoja taisyklės apie tai, kada dainos turi būti dainuojamos, kiek kartas turėtų būti daroma, ir neturi panašių taisyklių.
The next slide is a sample page of the list of men who are members of the society. This is just one page. As you can see, there's about 50 men on this page.
Čia yra bendruomenės narių sąrašas, tai yra vienas puslapis ir tame sąraše yra apie 50 žmonių.
Of course, women are famous for reciting the Tehillim, the songs. So this is a list of the women's part of the society, and a list of women who are members. One page of the list of female members of the society.
Taigi, jeigu praeitą skaidrį mes matėme sąrašą vyrų, prieš tai buvusią skaidrį mes matėme sąrašą moterų, kurios prisidėjo prie dainų.
Now we begin with the world famous Rabbi Vilkija, Rabbi Hillel David Trivash. We have not been able to find his grave. We're still hoping of some more support and encouragement to be able to find his grave in the Vilkija cemetery. He was a prolific rabbi, teacher, head of a school which he founded, a Torah school which he founded in Vilkija, and he was a prolific writer. Here is his first rabbinic work, Vilkija, printed in Vilnius, 1882.
Dabar aš noriu pakalbėti apie Vilkijos rabiną, kurio kapalėje mums nepavyko surasti, mes rasime Vilkijos kapinėse, kaip mokytojas, kaip mokyklos direktorius, rašytojas, ir mes čia matome jo darbą, Vilkija, kuris buvo parašytas 1688 metais.
So here on the last pages of this work are a list of pronumeranten. Pronumeranten is Yiddish, which means subscribers. For financial reasons, they would pre-sale the book before it was printed. The list of pronumeranten in old books is extremely important for the list of Jewish people in all the different places. And here on this page, we have Vilkija, which has about 1.5 columns. As you see, there's about 50 or 60 names on columns. So there's a list here of at least 70 Jews, maybe more, maybe close to 100 from Vilkija.
Taigi čia mes turime knygos prenumeratorių sąrašą ir prenumeratoriai, toks prenumeratorių sąrašas yra labai svarbus, nes pagal tai galima spręsti, kiek yra žydų nuomonėje. Ir šiam sąraše yra nuo 70 iki 100 žydų.
Now on this page of the subscribers, I noticed something very interesting. Rabbi Trivash already went to surrounding towns to get subscribers, and he ended up in a town which is today just over the border in Poland, called Novograd. It's a little town, relatively little town near Lomza, probably Lomza. You guys know it's on the border, it's a slightly Lithuanian town in the border, and this is near Lomza. I was there. Now when I saw Novograd, it's just a town, I said, hey, my grandmother comes from Novograd. And here I noticed that the 10th name here is Rav Shlomo Shabinovich, my great-grandfather, who was he had a store, a general store, and he was a teacher in Novograd.
Įdomu yra tai, kad prenumeratorių buvo ieškoma ilgus metus ir tai sąrašas iš Novograd miesto netoli Lomžos, netoli Lomžos. Ir jo močiutė yra kilusi iš Lomžos, iš tam sąraše, rado savo senelio pavardę, mokytojas, ir žmogus.
Here we have another work of Rabbi Trivash, Avodat HaKohen, printed already this time in Warsaw, 1889. What's interesting over here is there's a stamp that this belonged to the Klois Yoshon, to the old Klois in Vilna. What that means is the old chapel. In other words, Klois would mean a smaller synagogue, and this was the old one, which means that there was already a new one. The old and the new Klois were part of the 14 synagogues that were in the Vilna Shulite, unparalleled in the world, 14 synagogues in the Vilna courtyard, Jewish synagogue courtyard. And this is a stamp from one of them.
Čia yra Berlynas Rabino Trivaš darbas, kuris buvo atspausdintas Varšuvoje 1989 metais. Ir čia yra antspaudas senosios koplyčios. Sakant, kad koplyčios buvo mažos sinagogos, tai koplyčia priklausė 14 sinagogų grupei.
So now when we get to the pronumeranten, the subscribers in this book, so of course we have all from all over, and here the last column begins Vilkija. It's quite a number, and then Vilkija continues on the next page. It's about 3 columns. There's way over 100 people that subscribed in Vilkija. By that time, he was a very famous rabbi, of course, in Vilkija. And what do I notice? That one of the names over here is Dov, Raphael Wiener. Dov, the son of Raphael Wiener.
Taigi, mes vėl matome bernardų sąrašus ir Vilkija užima Vilkija skirta labai daug vietos, apie 3 metrus. Tuo metu Vilkijoje buvo labai populiarus rabinas, Dov Vilkija.
Raphael Wiener, Dov, the son of Raphael Wiener.
Raphael Wiener sūnus.
Why is this so important? Because when we were here in the summer to begin the restoration, and the Dutch Christian Society came to help to find and write and erect tombstones, which they did to 78 stones in the cemetery. Lo and behold, one of the 78 stones was none other than this fellow, Dov, the son of Raphael Wiener. And he passed away in 1917. What is important about this? Because in our group that was here in the summer, we had with us Paul Wiener from New York State, and he was looking for his ancestors. And we uncovered the stone of his great-great-great-grandfather. And here's the stone that was uncovered, was underground for 80 years, and was uncovered, and it's the same person that's on a subscriber in Rabbi Trivash's book.
Ir iš tikrųjų įdomu yra tai, kad šią vasarą, kada mes su Olandų krikščioniškos bendruomenės pagalba darėme kapines ir atrengėme įvairius paminklinius akmenis, mes radome Wienerio paminklinį akmenį, o tuo tarpu Paul Wiener iš Amerikos kaip tik ieškojo savo protėvių Lietuvoje. Ir paaiškėjo, kad tai buvo jo prosenelis, kuris buvo palaidotas prieš 80 metų.
After that emotional story, we continue with another work of the Rabbi Trivash and Gamim, again printed in Warsaw, 1891.
Taigi, dabar pakalbėkime apie kitą rabiną Trivašą, kuris buvo atspausdintas 1891 metais.
The next work needs an introduction. Anti-Semitism did not begin with the Nazis and the Nazi ideology in the Second World War. In the late 19th century, there was a movement to ban kosher ritual slaughtering, what we call shechita, in Europe. And here, Rabbi Trivash takes his pen. He was a great writer, and he wrote a polemic to defend Jewish ritual slaughter, and it's published in Vilna, 1898.
Čia yra kitas rabino Trivašo darbas, kuriame kalbama apie žydų žudynes 20-ame amžiuje ir šis darbas buvo atspausdintas 1890.
And here, of course, because this was not only for the Jews, is the Russian title page of that work.
Na, o čia yra rusiškas to darbo puslapis.
What's special about this particular book is that on the binding is the shelf label from Strashun Library, the world's largest Jewish library at the time, in Vilna, under Sholai, in the synagogue courtyard. Besides the 14 synagogues, was also the famous Strashun Library, and here is the shelf label indicating the place where the book is held.
Apart 14 sinagogų Vilniuje buvo Strashun biblioteka ir šios knygos mes matome tos bibliotekos ženklinimo, kuris nurodo, kurioje vietoje ta knyga yra.
From here we go to a rabbinic journal, a rabbinic academic journal called Hapiska. This is considered to be the first rabbinic academic journal in the Russian Empire. There's 10 issues altogether. The library holds about half of them. Half of those issues, some are very rare. This is the first one, published in Vilna in 1895. It's a group of articles of various rabbis and scholars from all over. And this one is special because it also has a stamp of the great synagogue, the Bet Knesset Agadol, and it also has a later stamp of Mefitzei Haskalah, of the library of the movement of enlightened Jews in Vilna.
Čia mes matome viską žurnalą, tai yra akademinis žurnalas, čia yra pirmoji to žurnalo leidimas, 1895 metais, tai buvo straipsnių rinkinys, straipsnių, kuriuos parašė akademiniai, mokslininkai. Ir mes matome čia sinagogos antspaudą bei bibliotekos antspaudą.
The library has volume 2, which is printed until 1896, and volume 3.
Mes turime antrąjį tomą, kuris buvo pasaulintas rinkimas 1886 metais ir trečiąjį tomą, kuris buvo spausdintas 1896 metais.
The next is the fifth volume, and the fifth volume has the stamp of what's called the Stocha Gedola. Stocha Gedola means the central relief, central philanthropic relief of the Jewish community, and they were also had their offices in the Shulheim, and they had a library. That library was the forerunner of this Rashon library.
Na, o čia mes matome penktąjį tomą, kuris buvo spausdintas 1898 metais, ir čia yra centrinės bendruomenės buveinės antspaudas.
The last of that one that the library is holding is the sixth volume, which is published until 1999.
Paskutinis yra šeštasis tomas, kuris buvo spausdintas 1899.
We end with the latest volume that I found in the latest book is Bet Aaron, published until 1904. This was, the author was Rabbi Aaron Zelig Feigenshevitz, and it says on the title page that he comes from Vilkija. He was a teacher in Plongia.
Galiausiai mes turime Tomas Hocenas 1904 metais, tai yra informacija, kuris rašo, kad jis buvo Vilkijoje ir Plongijoje.
Thank you very much for listening to that lesson. I think the message of the connection came home very, very clear. Thank you.
Aš labai dėkoju, kad išklausėte mano paskaitą ir aš tikiuosi, kad mano žinutė apie mūsų ryšius buvo labai aiški.
Nuoširdžiai dėkojame organizacijos Žydų paveldas skirtoje prezidentui ir aktyviai Alfanam Baral už tokį labai įdomų pranešimą. Ir dabar maloniai kviečiame sutarties pasirašymui. Bendradarbiavimo sutartį pasirašo Kauno rajono meras Valerijus Malūnas ir organizacijos Žydų paveldas skirtoje prezidentas Ragnas Alfanam Baral.
So now we are inviting the mayor of the district and Rabbi Alfanam Baral to take the practice and the agreement.
Dabar įteikti atminimo dovanas. Atminimo dovana Rabinai Mordechai Josifui Karnauskui. Ir organizacijos iš pagalbos skirtoje prezidentui Akmenai Alfonam Baronui. Taip pat dodama parlamentinių ryšių su Izraelio valstybe Vilkijos vadovai Simonarė Vilkija. Ir žydų bendruomenės. Ir Alfonso Barono žmonai. Ir žydų bendruomenės pirmininkui Mokšai. Sveikinimo žodžiai labai maloniai kviečiu Lietuvos Respublikos Seimo narį, parlamentinių ryšių su Izraelio vyriausybe grupės vadovą, gerbiamą Vilkija.
I'm inviting Mr. Zingeris as of the group for interparliamentary relations.
Shalom Chaverim. Nors bičiuliai, tai yra Franz Kalnovskį, Штен Барош from Vilnius, Kihila, France, Gemeinde. Eu vou usar o mesmo trabalho a filhos todos que vai manual todos que muitas depois mais o Menschen mas rein zu glauben wir sein a fazer wichtige Initiative mir kommen zu dem Mikrokosmos por exemplo se filhos de Malásia que boa e uma radical do Chico Nado e nós temos uma guerra durante ele jornalistas Chico passava wundertäusend der Menschen haben Geld Mamaloschen und geschrieben Floschen Gedisch. Das gibt eine skrupulöse Arbeit in jeder Stadt. 200 Städtler in Liga, 200 Städtler und zwischen die Hälfte von die alle Deutschen sind hier in 80%. Wir kommen zur Zeit nach Welt, so und so Welt, nach Vorkommen und Schau, 80 Jahre von Auschwitz. Wir wollen so wo sie sein Gewinn, Inhalt von die dortige Städte, wo sie sein Gewinn, die dortige schöne Personen von der Molke, jüdische Gerichte, Welt von Jerusalem, der Liga, Welt von der Molke, Kuba. Wat wilde dat een eigen van ergens de oefening. Je zei dat je ook weer een naar Jiddisch. Maar is slechts in de je zei MS voorstel van een mooie politische veld. Für Arbeit und eins doch so eine kleine Exemplar von der größeren Welt. Ich habe mich lustig vorgestellt, wie das ist das Präsident seit dem Praktikum. Angekus, die fertig Prozent was uns. Ich живу Англию, учился в Вильне, сайте не Потому что я создал следующий другой статус, подтвердите движущую местами, неужели момент рассерсовой капели. Потом просидел диалог, сказите жмонес. Биржуся, настойно, благодаря мне забылись продею, я посмотрел, что сказал Рекинес. Биржи продею вардит. Tokia neuroginčių lieka milžiniškai sienai biržų žudinių vietoje. Kas tie žmonės yra? pabandė išvardinti bent 50% pavardžių ir vardų, kurie žuvo 41 metais žvėriškose žudynėse. 94% Lietuvos žydų žuvo, jūs galite įsivaizduoti, ką tai reiškia. Kaip dabar svarbu būtų jų pavardės turėti. Kalbant apie Litvakų palikimą, jis yra unikalus, kadangi jis yra centrinis, jis yra dabartiniai tautai ir žydų tautai. Kodėl? Čia buvo pradėtas visas Kauskondas. Aš pats gal išversiu, aš norėjau pasakyti, kad leidinys Pirkėse fon, kuris buvo leidžiamas Kaune Vilniuje 1843 metais, buvo paleistas Abraomo Mapų, pirmojo iš hebrajų rašytojo. Visas paminėtas švietimo epocha Josif Levinson, visa duotas tonas spaustuvės, 173 spaustuvės Lietuvoje, ypač hebrajų kalba. Jūs galite įsivaizduoti, iki 1914 metų Lietuvoje veikė 173 hebrajų spaustuvės. Visam hebrajų pasaulyje. Vad gör det vi så rör sig i från unsere amolika schreibers vi Abraham på Havatsios. Det telefon, die erste jüdische hebräische Ausgaben in Lieder ausgedruckt auf in Vilna und in Kaunas. Also man redet nicht nur das Wort, es hat nicht Geschichte. Man redet doch bei dem Inhalt von der jüdischen Volk in Lieder. Dann, als sie Gott gemacht, ihre erste Schritt zum Machen, klare Licht, wo sein die Menschen gewählt. Mūsų šias uždavinys milžiniškas yra įveikti tą sieną, svetimumo sieną ir priartinti epochą. Gerbiamas merė, mes turėtume pajusti, kas tai buvo tie žmonės, ką jie darė Vilkijai ir kas stovėjo už tos įvežlių hebrajų kalbos sienos. Atvesti jos į lietuvišką supratimą. Čia bus didžiulis darbas. Aš todėl ir sveikinu jūs ir pasakysiu porą žodžių angliškai. I'm extremely thankful for all those who are building and who are working to bring a light after darkness and censorship of 50 years. Can you imagine? In Soviet time, we have not even right to commemorate our Holocaust days. It was only 9th of May. It was not 29th of October. It was a killing of my mother from Kaunas, the day of last day, one of the last days of Kaunas. It was forbidden. From our side now, we are going deeper and deeper, trying to understand who was behind those cemeteries, and really collecting cemeteries. For Jewish people, those men and women, they are alive. That is our amunah, that is our belief. Let's spread this belief that they are alive, and our duty to make them alive to our fantastic neighbors who are sitting with us today in this room, and say them thank you, and for all persons who will be in the future, focusing on every tomb, trying to understand who was the person behind the tomb. That will be the best answer to other Peter. Thank you very much.
Dabar maloniai kviečiame Kauno rajono urbanistikos skyriaus vyriausiąjį specialistą Valdą Žilviną Viršelį, kuris pristatys Kauno rajone esančio žydų paveldo tvarkybos apžvalgą ir Vilkijos žydų senosiose kapinėse 24 atliktų ir planuojamų 25 darbų atlikti visą sąrašą.
Now we are inviting Žilvinas Viršelis, Senior Heritage Specialist for the Urban Planning Department of Urban District municipality and providing an overview of the management of the Jewish heritage in Kaunas district and a presentation of the works carried out in 2024 and planned to carry out in 2025.
Dėkoju visiems, kas stengsiu ilgai skirti, manau, kad norėčiau tikrai šios prezentacijos viduroje pristatyti komoje savivaldybės nuveiktus darbus, saugojant ir puoselėjant Žydų kalną komoje.
So I would like to thank everybody and I'm sorry not to take a lot of your time because we are already behind the schedule. And I would like to present the charts here about our municipality and preservation of the Jewish heritage.
Trumpa statistinė informacija, vietų, 6 senosios žydų kapinės ir vienas pavojaus.
Okay, so the presentation will continue in English because the Lithuanians know what it is about. They can see the slides and it will be a little bit faster.
So it was trying to find those points in Kaunas district map. So you see that almost all the heritage is almost on the outskirts of the Kaunas district municipality, which I guess was one of the reasons and probably one of the factors why it was not preserved well, but was kept safe from urbanization, let's say, and some other circumstances over the time. So, as I mentioned, during the last 10 years, or during those 10 years, Kaunas district municipality, by its own initiative, renovated all the Holocaust, all 7 Holocaust sites. So, as you can see from the years, the last renovation was done last year in the Vilkija district. Also in 2018, Kaunas district municipality together with Jews from the United States, Israel, with the help of Israel embassy and Jewish community, renovated the old Jewish cemetery in Vilkija, and a new monument appeared for the Holocaust victims. So we say that this project that we are planning to implement in Vilkija is actually we are taking a really good example from Vilkija project, which was done already 5 years ago. So for us, it's a really good example, and it's for example, the mayor, the administration of Kaunas municipality already knows the process, so it's not going to be like a new thing. So we think that by having this good example, we can implement also implement successfully some new other projects. And as already was mentioned today for many times, in 2020, the focus point was turned to Vilkija, starting with the Kaunas family commemoration, and finishing by this year with not finishing but starting with last year with the renovation of the old Jewish cemetery in Vilkija. And just a quick overview of the places that were renovated. So we see the one in Vilkija district. It's not particularly Vilkija, but not far away from Vilkija. So it's one of the 7 Holocaust memorials, and this one was the first one that was renovated in 2004. This is Vilkija cemetery, how it looked like in 2016, before the renovation, and that's the project that was implemented in 2018. Well, So we see the monument, and behind it we see the cemetery. And this is the picture from the opening event project. One more slide of Vilkija massacre site, which is also not far away from Vilkija. So how it looked like in 2017, and how it was after the renovation. So when we first met with the Rabbi Baron, so it was one of the places that we visited during our visit in Kaunas. This one is in UK, it's not far away from Mbappe, Mbappe ownership. So before the renovation and after the renovation and during the opening event. This is Zapishkis, so we, in Zapishkis, as well as in Vilkija ownership, we have two Holocaust sites. So Zapishkis was done in 2023. So that's first after the renovation. That's another memorial before renovation and after. And that's the last place we renovated last year in Vilkija, not far away from Vilkija, before renovation and after. The opening event with the local schools and teachers. And of course, the synagogue, we are happy to have because most of the synagogues in Lithuania were actually wooden, especially in those small towns and shtetls. So we are lucky that in Czechia, in Kaunas district, we have quite an impressive thing. We have a brick synagogue that was constructed in the 19th century. And this is how it looked like in 2018 before restoration started. And what I want to point out is that this project is a continuous project because we started to do it together with the Kaunas religious Jewish community, also with the help of Ministry of Culture. So restoration of the synagogue still continues. So this is a picture of how the building looks like in 2023. So it's already a bit outdated picture because now the surrounding area is implemented more. So now all the works will go to the inside because now when the outside of the building is already finished, we need to focus on the restoration of the interior and quite unique paintings on the walls, and we have original art collection there. Quite an important visit was of Starlet Joan that we had in 2020. She visited the place or the memorial of Louis Armstrong and the Mossy family because as you know, she was appointed by the President of the United States, and she was head of the commission which is responsible for the United States heritage outside of the United States. And this is the Vilkija Cemetery, how it looked like in 2016. I'll just present short information what is already done during the last year. So we were asked to point our interest by local Jewish community also to take more attention and to do some maintenance works on the cemetery. So we started to do those works in 2024. And what was done during over the years of that year was that we started the process of renovation of the territory of the cemetery, because the territory that was listed in the cultural heritage list was not accurate enough. It was not based on really good, accurate historical documents. So what we were quite lucky that with the help of our international also friends organization Jewish Heritage Vilkija, we found the aerial photographs from 1944 and some other historical document was that we managed to find. It was the land plot map of Vilkija. It's actually a section of it of 1938, so you can clearly see the cemetery area, which is here. So it's probably the most accurate document that we can get of the actual boundaries that were of the cemetery. So, and this is by the way the aerial photograph that also helped when overlaying both historical layers according to the document. So, according to this information that we gave for the Heritage Department, they renovated the territory, and now it's fixed according to the 1938 plan. Also, Rabbi Baron already mentioned the group of religious community from Netherlands or Dutch community which visited the place and worked in Vilkija Cemetery for 1 week. After them, there was a group of professors and students coming for their summer practice, and they were doing the geo-mapping in the cemetery when visiting Vilkija, and they also helped us to find, for example, the tombstones that were unknown or like covered by ground, covered by soil, and they found like I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 extra stones that were unknown at all. Not only for us, but also for others. Also, we found that, I just mentioned in 2 words, by the way, they also helped us to find, because in this picture, you can see 2 buildings. One was standing in the cemetery area, and one was standing outside of the cemetery area. So we think that one of them, which is closer to the cemetery, is actually a purity house, and the other might be a cemetery keeper's house. So the professor Harry Joel from United States Eau Claire University in Wisconsin states, so they helped us to find the foundations of those buildings. And for me as a historian, that's also one of the most probably interesting artifacts. Is the oldest tombstone that we found in the cemetery area till now. It's the tombstone from 1799. So that's the oldest stone that can be visible now. And that's the cemetery last year what we implemented. So we were fixing the tombstones, cleaning the area, all together with the Dutch group and with the help of eldership of Kaunas district of Vilkija. Also, we constructed the informational board in the cemetery that was never there in the place, and gives more information about the history of the community and of the cemetery itself in both languages, like Lithuanian and English. And actually, the plans for this year is to finish with the formation of the separate land plot, because not only Kaunas district municipality, but all municipalities need to form in such cases when it's not yet formed the land plots for all the cemeteries. So we hope we will finish this process this year, and after that we will speak and discuss about the fencing of the area to protect it from the wild animals and some other circumstances that could affect the maintenance of the cemetery. And also the access, fixing the access roads that leads to the cemetery, because local Jewish community was also complaining about the accessibility of the cemetery, which is not proper. It's not proper because of some just circumstances that we cannot fix. We cannot fix like really quickly. So we will try to organize the entering of the cemetery from some other directions that will be much more accessible and will give us the possibility to establish and place even a parking lot there. So it will be the best access road to reach the cemetery and to come as close as we can. So that's my short overview. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Jonas. And with this speech, we finish this special event dedicated to the signature of the operational agreement.
Labai dėkojame mūsų garbiems svečiam, gerbiamam Pravidai Kortelei Josifui Karnovskijui ir Rabbinui Avalon Baron.
We would like to thank our honorable guests, Rabbi Joseph Karnovsky and Rabbi Avalon Baron.
Mūsų bičiuliam, taip pat visų pagalbos stebėjusiam visą šį iškilmingą renginį.
Our friends who have been watching this special event on Zoom.
Seimo nariui, gerbiamam Singeriui.
MP Zingeris.
Gerbiamiem tiesiog visus paminėsime ambasadų atstovam iš Amerikos ambasados, Izraelio, Vokietijos, Kanados.
The representatives of the United States, German, Israel embassies.
Dėkuoju gerbiamam Davidui Magūnui už šį renginį ir visus darbus, kiek žinomas parodyti, dėl visos jo komandos, gražus, multis vyksmas labai ačiū.
We would like to thank the mayor of Kaunas district, Mr. Kaunas, for all the things that have been done that we saw on the slides.
Dėkojame visiems, kurie buvote, tiesiog kas į darbus, kas į gyvenimą, o kas dar paragauti tų skanėstų, kur lukšte tikrai jų liko.
So we thank all of you for being here with us. And now somebody will go to work, somebody will go home, somebody will go downstairs to enjoy those tasty things that are so loved.
Ačiū visiems.
Thank you very much.